The film opens showing a teenage boy named Lukas, who enjoys the fields. He hears some people screaming. Then he runs straight to his house. He noticed that some strangers had broken into his house. They seized his patents, and Lukas watches and hides. Then these people kill Lukas' parents on the spot. He notices 4 people there. Their names were Bear, Wolf, Snake, and Scorpion, who took the life of his parents. Now Lukas was burdened with grief, because his parents have no enmity with anyone. Why did this happen to them? Now Lukas will fix it in his mind, that he would take revenge on 4 of them. Now he moves to his king to ask for help, but he ignores him. He is disappointed and starts to leave the place. Meanwhile, he sees a girl there that he likes very much. He then visits a restaurant where he was tasked with hiring hunters, so he might be able to avenge his dead parents. At the same time, a man meets Lukas there. His name was Darius, who says Lukas he knows what his purpose is, so she can hire him because she can't get anyone better than him. When all the hunters hear this, they start fighting Darius because they are angry with him. Now the royal soldiers are coming there to settle the dispute. Now Lukas escapes from there during the rescue, and he enters the shop through the window and falls asleep there. When the shop owner observes him as he arrives in the morning, Lukas tells him his whole story. He doesn't say he's sick, but suggests he could ask the dragon for help rather than hire a hunter, who lives on a mountain far from the kingdom. But she also reveals to him that the dragon betrayed the king. People from that time don't like it and call him a conspirator. Now Lukas decides to meet the dragon. When he gets there, he finds out that this dragon is female. He tells the dragon his whole story, and he wants revenge. The dragon tells him on it, "If you just want revenge, not justice, I won't help you at all." Now Lukas sets out alone to look for his enemies as disappointed from everywhere. Early in the morning, he notices that Darius has come to his aid. Now Lukas tells him when all 4 of them killed my parents. Then the 4 did not run away alone, but went in different directions. First, they decide to look for the bear towards the north. Now Darius also tells Lukas that the dragon will never help you. My parents also died in childhood in the same way. I wanted revenge, and I also asked the dragon for help, but he refused. Now Darius despised the dragon from that time. Now Darius is teaching Lukas swordsmanship for self-defense and stops in his tracks. Lukas took the training perfectly. It is revealed here. Darius also has the ability to understand animal speech. Using his ability, he asks the lying worm, and he knows the location of bear from it. Then they wait for the arrival of the bear and stop in place. Now Darius is making a plan, but Lukas does not like his plan, so Darius is angry with him, and he says, "I am the one who helped you, while the dragon also forbade you to help." Now Lukas asks him, why does everyone call the dragon a traitor? He says that once the kingdom was under attack, it was unbelievable to the king that he won it. Then the dragon appears there. He said it would help him. When the king returned bruised in war, he hoped that the dragon within him would surely transfer its power once the connection was made. And they save him because the dragon has power. They can share the pain of an injury and make a connection. But the dragon didn't act like one. Anyway, the king remained safe. So from then on they started hating the dragon, and they called him a conspirator. Dry's horse turns into a dragon after Lukas' story ends. Then the dragon tells him that a female dragon can turn into any animal, but they cannot communicate with anyone in this guise. Now the dragon tells Lukas that Darius is lying to him. The dragon tells him that he will help him in that case if he listens to his spoken words. Now Lukas agrees, but Darius forbids dating a dragon. He then asks Lukas to choose one of them, either Darius or the dragon. Now Lukas chooses the dragon, and Darius leaves the place. Now it can be seen that Bear and his people attacked Lukas. Now a dragon comes in front of them and tries to scare them, and they start fighting them. Then Lukas secretly goes to hold the sword, but Bear catches Lukas, and he twirled it with his belt. Suddenly the belt breaks and Bear slides down the mountain, and he dies. Lukas feels extremely happy. He witnesses it. But the dragon was not satisfied with his dying as such, and they follow the wolf into the forest. Now the dragon at night explains to Lukas, there is nothing in revenge. This revenge turns a good man into a devil, and it also grabs his thinking ability. But Lukas doesn't understand a single word he says. He wanted to punish the murderers of his parents at all costs. And Wolf and his people attack Lukas and the dragon when morning time comes. And the dragon finishes them off one by one and blows the air out of his mouth. And they save Lukas, and Wolf catches Lukas coming from behind. And he asks the dragon to stop everything. Then the dragon begins to distract the wolf and turns into a dog. Then he easily saves Lukas' life. Then they both take him with them to look for the snake even though they killed it. Then the three notice, they get to the snake cabin, that Darius was already there and they attacked him. Now the dragon comes to rescue Darius and finds him in trouble. Snake orders his man to go to the hut when he notices the dragon coming. and he asks to destroy all the evidence, and she herself runs away. Now Lukas also goes to see her, while Darius fights other people. Now the dragon freezes the cottage to prevent things from being destroyed. Now Lukas throws the snake off his horse and reaches for her, and the dragon freezes Wolf's hand and watches him run. His arm is broken because of it, and falls into the river. Now the fight between Lukas and Snake begins, and Lukas fights fantastically here. He is then attacked by the snake when Darius and the dragon get there. Now it seems that Lukas was injured by the attack of Snake, but that doesn't happen, and her bag of coins becomes the target of her attack. Now all three are sitting after defeating the snake here. Darius tells him when he and his parents faced an accident, and he was in such a worse condition. There was no one to save him but the dragon. Meanwhile, the dragon saves Dario's life and shares his bond, and it left him in front of the school where he was eagerly cared for. They educate him. When Darius grows small, he then goes to the dragon for help to avenge his parents, but the dragon refuses to help him, so he hates the dragon from that time. After this connection, Darius gained the ability to communicate with animals, and Darius has not revealed this secret to anyone yet. When they go to the shack, they find a message that Snake wanted to burn, and Lukas almost killed Snake here. Then the dragon says that there is no other slayer to end Darius's parents, but it was the king who wanted to get to the place quickly, and he wanted to connect with me, so he didn't care about any passerby on the way. The dragon revealed this to Darius because he knew he would be finished and he would go to the king without any consideration. Now he says there were 2 reasons why they did not help the king. I thought he was starting this war on purpose, so he can become a hero in people's eyes and can keep everything. In short, the king is an evil man. Second, the dragon already shared a bond with Darius. When Lukas heard this, he let Snake go, and he carries her to the city at daybreak, and she is trapped there. Darius can be seen knowing that no one was behind the rigging of this attack by the 4 of them. Rather, it is the king who spreads terror among the people through them, and distracts people from their bad deeds. He eventually becomes an honorable man in the eyes of the people after capturing them. Before that, Darius will reveal something to anyone. Then the king will arrive there with his army, and he threatens Daria, get out of his way. Darius was violently beaten by the soldiers, and they leave too, grabbing a bag of money and messages. Now they needed the documents back to prove it because their king is a corrupt man. Before they can take any action, they receive word that the prison has been set on fire. It is seen here that Ona and his father are also trapped in this fire. Then the dragon saves them both, but Lukas had to go after Snake and Scorpio at all costs. Then the dragon cleanses him. Getting access to those documents is more important than that. Then Lukas gets angry. She leaves the place and calls him traitor, and he pursues them both. Now Darius may have understood the dragon's words. He sends it to get the papers and goes to Lukas himself. Now the dragon will transform into different animals and follows the soldiers. On the other side, the scorpion men attack Lukas and Darius. Now Darius asks Lukas to leave this place while he fights them. Lukas moves forward to escape, but Scorpion injures him at the same time. Now Darius starts to move towards Lukas, but the man wounds him as well and shoots an arrow. Now the dragon has reached the documents in the appearance of a cat, and Darius fought all these people here. Now they were both injured. Despite this, they fought. Then Darius shows the dragon the state of Lukas using his power. After that, the dragon gives importance to Lukas and leaves other activities aside. And she comes from there and breaks the wall. And the king here is tearing up all the papers. Lukas's condition was pitiful, and Scorpion was trying to kill Darius and drowned him in the water. As a result, the dragon also begins to lose its balance. Meanwhile, Darius boldly puts an arrow into Scorpion's neck and pulls the arrow out of his body, and he gets out of the water. Dragon will also arrive there after being stable because he did. Now it's not pity for Snake as he witnesses the condition of Lukas, and that kills him. Now Darius asks to transport Lukas to the city as soon as possible. Lukas glimpses Ona ahead of him as he regains his senses after healing. Afterwards, Darius and the dragon bring Wolf before the natives to reveal the truth about the king. But people do not rely on the words Wolf, and the dragon asks the other witnesses to speak the truth more, assure them that he will watch over them. After that, all the servants of the king begin to tell about the deeds of the king. Later, the king and the wolf are imprisoned. Now Darius and the dragon begin to rule the kingdom with excellence. And on this scene the movie recap ends.